Greetings, my noble knights. It is I, Blaze Templar, and I've actually been ill for the last couple days. I guess this not sleeping thing has finally caught up to me. Thankfully, I think my body is starting to recover a little bit, slowly but surely, but hey, we're making progress. Anyway, we are against the uh, Detroit Magnetons, which is actually a pretty cool name, I gotta say. And they have quite a threatening team to go up against this week. Raikou with a Z Crystal, Tyrantrum with a Z Crystal, Camerupt Mega for Alligator, Gardevoir, Mantine, Shaman, Slurpuff, Steelix, Uxie, and Zangoose. Now, offensively, he's got some really hard hitters in Zangoose. Slurpuff because of Unburden, and Belly Drum. You could do a Belly Drum Unburden set, and that thing caps out at 534 speed once it does that, which is actually insane. It could, in fact, be a death sentence for my team if I'm not careful, so I'm going to have to watch out for that. Anyway, next is Shaman, of course. It's quite a mixed bag of things. Its base 100 stats across the board is really quite nice. Mantine, fantastic special defensive wall. Just takes hits all day, every day on the special side. So knocking it out that way is going to be a bit of a problem. Next, Gardevoir. It's kind of a tricky Pokemon. Okay speed tier for RU and such. Base 80, nothing to write home about, but it does have really good special bulk, and it hits pretty hard on the special side. Its fairy typing does help it immensely too. For Alligator, again, another really threatening Pokemon to deal with. Don't really want to have to fight it, but I gotta deal with it, so you know. That being said, Camerupt Mega is another big problem to deal with. Hits really hard on the special side. It is slow, but it does have a lot of bulk behind it. And I'm actually going to change off the Steel Wing. I had that because I was thinking, oh, Gardevoir. But, of course, Brave Bird would destroy any Gardevoir set, so I would probably be better off with something else. So I'm going to have to figure out what that move is going to be real quick, because there are some good choices, to say the least. I could hilariously go for the Perish Song, but I don't think that would be the best use of Honchkrow. Night Slash, maybe. It Dark and... Yeah, I think actually Night Slash, because Dark and Flying hits his entire team pretty hard, and that's why I'm quite liking this. Now you may be wondering why Fire MZ Heatwave, that actually one-hit KOs, specially defensive Steelix, without too much of an issue. The speed setup is actually built so it just barely squeaks by a couple of his different Pokemon, the ones that I can squeak by before they set up and all that. Outside of that, it's the rest goes into bulk. I didn't want to lower my special defense or special attack because I actually need that with the Fire MZ if he is running specially defensive Steelix. I don't see it, but I'd rather take the hit to special defense in this case, just because one, Honchkrow is more of an offensive threat, and two, this kind of ensures that I can get past it. So that's why. Next is Ampharos Mega. Decided not to think too hard on it, make it as bulky as possible, make it hit as hard as possible. Focus Blast for the Steelix, primarily Dragon Pulse because it hits most of his team pretty good. Volt Switch, so if I predict the Gardevoir to come in, I can just Volt Switch on that. There's a Volt Switch on that, so I don't take any damage there. And then Thunderbolt, because it's just really powerful stab. I thought about Discharge, but in this case I figured the extra power would probably be better. I would like Paralysis Spreading, sure, but I just decided that Thunderbolt's added power probably would be better overall. Anyway, next is, in fact, Quagsire. I am really debating if I want Toxic. I do need some kind of status, but at the same time, I am kind of wanting to run Protect just because of what happened last week. That really nasty surprise of the Rampardos that just completely destroyed me makes me a little more hesitant on Quagsire. It's not quite as invincible as I'd hoped. And I think one of the big things is that Quagsire does best when people aren't able to prepare for it. It's just one of those Pokemon that if you're not prepared for it, it does way better. If you're prepared for it, it kind of struggles a little bit. but I haven't really brought it much. Last week was the first time I brought it, and it didn't do anything, so I'm kind of hoping this week it will. If I do switch up my moves, I may replace either Encore or Toxic for Protect. I haven't decided yet. I'd really like to keep Encore, just because it locks Pokemon into a certain move, and they'll just keep spamming like Stealth Rock or Dragon Dance or whatever. Unaware, naturally, just because that stops his physical attackers, and he's got a lot of them this week. And so that helps out immensely. Unfortunately, Quagsire cannot take on the Zangoose. Close combat is still a 2-hit KO after the Toxic Orb boost. I think Facade is, I should say, is a 2-hit KO. Despite the massive investment, it's just insane how strong that monster is. But outside of that, Quagsire is a really good utility mon. It deals with a lot of his Pokemon like the Tyrantrum, so I decided to bring it. Armaldo actually is a better check to the Zangoose, as it actually can take a close combat or a Facade. I mean, it doesn't enjoy close combat, obviously, but Stone Edge is like a 1-hit KO or 2-hit KO. So it can do the job if he does bring Zangoose. I'd rather not deal with it, obviously, but it's there if I have to. Zangoose could be the biggest problem, and that's why I'm still thinking hard about how I'm going to build this team a little bit. There are a few changes I may make. Next, Special Wall in P2. Actually, this set can't take on Zangoose terribly well, but it can still do a little bit depending on how it goes. Psych Up mostly if he wants to bring like Calm Mind. Raikou, I can just Psych Up those boosts and then Foul Play him into Oblivion. Rather get Paralyzed, obviously, than Toxic in that case, but either way, Psych Up kind of makes it so I can take hits on the special side way better than he can dish out after the Calm Mind boost. So, works out for me. And then last is actually a kind of mix-based sweeper Cloyster. Item has not been quite decided, but I'm thinking White Herb. I very well might go Focus Sash, as it would let me live any 1-hit guaranteed, get the Shell Smash off, and after that, actually, it kind of tears through the majority of his team. 196 allows me to outspeed basically anything that's not Choice Scarfed or multiple Dragon Danced, so it can tear through his team quite well. Surf just destroys Steelix without investment. Hidden Power Electric at +2, and the 108 Special Attack investment actually ensures that I can take out fully Specially Defensive Mantine. Does a little bit over half with each Hidden Power, so he can either keep roosting or eventually go down that way. So it works out. I mean, obviously, because I am faster, I would get the Hidden Power Electric off before he'd get to Roost, which puts him in a really tight situation. Does he continue to Roost and lose that, or does he go for like an Air Slash or something? So if I can keep Cloyster at a healthy stat total, it will do quite nicely. If not, well, I could be in a bit of trouble. But the 196 speed, again, like I said, actually allows me to outspeed basically anything that's not Dragon Dance / Choice Scarfed / Unburden boosted. So it's quite an effective Pokemon there. I'm really leaning towards actually going Sash just for this week because it actually does so many different things. But White Herb would be better if I can't get the rocks to stay off my side of the field. That is a possibility. Steelix is quite a bulky boy. So that's kind of what I've got for the team builder. There are probably changes I'll need to make, but it's 7 in the morning. I've been up way too long, and I'm miserable, so we're not going to keep working on it right now, but that's the team currently. So I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.